Viruses. Viruses are everywhere, and they always have been. The first viruses likely date back billions of years, but they were only discovered in the late 1800s. That's when a Dutch scientist named Martinus Beijerinck made a startling discovery. He crushed up sick tobacco leaves, mixed them in water, and ran the solution through a filter until the water looked totally clear. He then injected drops of the filtered water into healthy tobacco leaves. A little while later, the healthy leaves got sick. Beijerinck reasoned that very small things in the water were the culprits. He called these very small things viruses, which in Latin means something like slimy liquid poison. Subsequent studies have shown just how small viruses are. They're about 1,000 times smaller than bacteria, and 1 billion of them can fit on the head of a pin. Despite their diminutive size, viruses are extremely powerful. Their power comes from their ability to make incredible numbers of identical viruses very quickly. While humans generally take 9 months to make just one more human, viruses can make billions more viruses in days. But viruses are not all powerful. They can't do it alone. To replicate themselves, they need help. They need a host, and that's where we come in. The human body has cells that viruses can use in replication. For a virus to survive long-term, though, it generally requires the hosting services of not just one person, but millions. Viruses like COVID-19 can spread through several different channels. The most common channel involves coughing and sneezing. If you're near someone with one of these viruses and they cough or sneeze, there's a risk the virus will go directly into your mouth, nose, or eyes. Another way these viruses circulate among humans is through contaminated surfaces. They can settle on, say, a doorknob. If you open that door and scratch your nose before washing your hands, the virus can get into your nose. A third way you can get infected with these viruses is through the air. Someone you're in an enclosed space with breathes the virus out, and you breathe it in. Less common methods of transmission involve transferal through blood, feces, tears, and other bodily fluids. Once a virus is in, say, your nose, it may not do anything. It's possible it will just stay there until it breaks down. But other times, the virus will get into cells in your nose and instruct them to make more viruses. A single cell can churn out millions of viruses. You may then breathe these viruses into your throat and lungs, where they hijack your cells and start the process all over. At this point, there will be a battle between the cells that the virus has hijacked and your immune cells. Immune cells are the white blood cells that develop in your bone marrow and play a crucial role in fighting off disease. There are different types of immune cells, including the aptly named natural killer cells, which recognize and destroy cells that have been taken over by the virus. If all goes well, your natural killer cells and other immune cells will win, and though you may feel crummy for a while, you'll get better. But if things go badly, your immune cells will be overwhelmed and you'll get sicker. There remains a lot of uncertainty about how immune cells work, but generally speaking, when you don't get better, it's because there has been a misfiring. In many cases, this misfiring is a result of an overreaction. Rather than seeing viruses as little microscopic nothings, your immune cells see the viruses as huge hulking invaders, and instead of launching precision strikes against the infected cells, start blasting everything in sight. In the midst of this indiscriminate shelling, many of your good cells die and accumulate in your lungs, creating pools of fluid that cause severe irritation. Your body tries to expel the fluid through coughing. Coughing can bring you temporary relief, but unfortunately that relief comes at a price. For the virus, a cough is like a limousine to another victim. The war imagery we often use to describe COVID-19 conceals a basic fact about viruses. Most of them don't make us sick. Some can be actively beneficial, but the majority of them appear to have no effect at all. They just do their thing and create more viruses. It may be a bit cheeky of them to take advantage of the cells of unsuspecting humans and unsuspecting animals, plants, and bacteria, but what the heck? Viral replication is often a victimless crime. Often, but not always. That's because a few viruses are, how can we put this? Jerks. Not content to just go about their business, it's as if they're also intent on maximizing human suffering. One of these jerk viruses is SARS-CoV-2, or the virus that causes COVID-19.